Good morning, baseball fans. We're here on Sunday, and I'm going to go over the Saturday games, all 15 of them. But before we do, I just want to talk about a couple of news items around the league. Most importantly, it came out Albert Pujols. He's going to be signing with the Dodgers, which is kind of exciting. To me, I was a little bit caught off guard because at the beginning, all talking about how the Angels released him because he didn't want to do that kind of thing. But things are starting to come out and say that maybe they jumped the gun on that and released him before that, and there's other things coming out. So as the story develops, we'll have more. And another story that I found interesting was Trevor Bauer, this guy always stirring up crap around the league, came out in his press conference after his start yesterday, and had a nice little sign on his chest saying, "It's not my logo, not my logo," whatever. I guess he was told he would be fined if he chose to wear his Bauer outage logo, which I'm excited. I kind of like that logo, so I'm excited to see how that works. But thanks for watching, everyone. 15 games on yesterday's slate, Saturday, May the 15th. So let's jump into it. Go down there, like, subscribe, etc., etc. Rays 12, Mets 5. This game was pretty exciting, honestly. Back and forth in the beginning. Rays took a quick lead at the beginning, and then the Mets went up 4-1, and then the Rays had a big 5 spot, and then they were only up by 1, or up by 2 after that. And then the Mets brought it within 1. And you think this game's coming down to the wire. The Rays do have the solid bullpen, so you think they're going to be able to close it out, and they just put up that 6th spot. The Mets fall apart down the stretch here, and their bullpen is responsible for 11 of their earned runs here. Lucchesi really struggling. 1-3 now on the season, 1.2 in this 4 earned runs. On the other side, Mick Clanahan gets his first win of the season, 5.1, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, and on this game, no home runs for the Rays at all. Pereza hits his first home run of the season for the Mets. Pete Alonso his 6th, and Francisco Lindor hits his 3rd of the season. He's still looking to try to crack 200 batting average. He had 3 Ks in this. Starting to take notice on that a little bit. But overall, the Rays smack up the Mets in this one and really make a statement. Next up, Twins 5, Athletics 4. And this is like the first big comeback that I've seen the Twins have like all season late in the game. They just don't seem to have been putting up runs late in games, and that seemed to have been a common trend. The A's were at 4-1, 2 runs early, 4-1, and then their bullpen actually fell apart in the 8th in this one, with Petit getting most of the damage against him. But they do give Diekman the blown save with that 1 earned run. Berrios goes 7, 4 earned runs, 6 Ks. All right, but he eats up the innings, and that's really what they want from him. Miguel Sano is back in this lineup. He bats his 3rd home run of the season in the 8th, which is that difference maker, that 3-run shot, I guess, off Diekman. Matt Olson, his 9th of the season, and Canha hits his 7th of the season. And yeah, the Twins win this one, and it's been a little while since they won a series, and we'll see if they can do it today, really. Next up, Red Sox 9, Angels 0. The Red Sox just laid the smackdown on the Angels. Bundy continuing to struggle, going down here. 4 innings pitched, 7 earned runs, up to 6 ERA. He's 0-5 on the season. It's not good for them. I think the Angels were really hoping they had found gold from the last time he was playing, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Martin Perez goes for the Boston Red Sox. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3.4. He's picks up his first win of the season, which is a little bit surprising, but I guess everyone has to get it eventually. And I know this is going to have a big impact on the power rankings, because last week we had a lot of talk about Boston. We'll see how they play. Power rankings coming out later today. Be ready for that. Next up, Tigers 9, Cubs 8. This has been a nice week for the Tigers, and this one went to 10. Kimbrel getting his 2nd loss of the season. Again, it's one of those extra inning losses, which I hate that it affects the stats so much. But here we are. The Cubs got out to an early 2-0 lead, and then they blew it in the bottom of the 1st. And then they get out to another lead, and then they blew it again. And then they get out to another lead. And then they blow it, and then they blow it. I think 4 different times the Cubs blew the lead. This one, Matt Duffy hits his first home run of the season, and it's the only one in this game overall. Miguel Cabrera, 1 hit. He's batting 172. Like, overall, the Tigers have not been batting good, but they've had a decent week offensively and on the pitching. Matt Duffy, 3 hits, 5 RBIs. He had a great game. Trevor Williams went 2 innings, pitched 3 earned runs for the Cubs. Urena, 2.24 earned runs for the Tigers. But the Tigers bring in Daniel Norris, and the rest of the guys kind of close the door here. Michael Fulmer seems to have found his role in the Tigers, closing out these games when they get so close to the end here. But yeah, big loss for the Cubs really in this hunt. Pirates 8, Giants 6. So yeah, Pirates had a nice comeback here though. I gotta admit, when I saw San Fran's at 4-0 lead, I'm like, okay, this game is as good as over. And then it was 6-2 going into the 7th. And believe it or not, the Pirates put up 6 runs in the last 3 innings to be the big difference. They're tied going into the 9th. And the Pirates got it done. Pitching-wise, Cueto went 4.1, 2 earned runs. A little bit short. He went 72 pitches. And then Anderson on the other side continues to be pretty decent. He gave up 4 earned runs over 5 in this one, but he had 7 Ks. He gets the no decision. I guess you can say he kept it close enough. Like 4-2-ish around the time he left. And the Pirates struck. Stallings, his 3rd home run of the season. It was the 9th inning. But for the Giants, we had Ruff get his 5th. Crawford, now back-to-back nights. He hit his 9th. And Tauchman hits his 2nd of the season for the Pirates. So, for the Giants. I keep doing that today. A lot of mixtures going on. Next up, Yankees 8, Orioles deuce. Yankees just came out. Their Yankees are a little bit on fire. They might possibly be the hottest team in the league right now. After the really rough start, I'm trying to picture what their record was, but they were 7 games below 500. If I'm right, I'm right, right? If I'm right, I'm right, right. Good one, Alex. Next, and then Aaron Judge hits his 11th of the season in this one. 2-run shot. Haman really settling down since his first couple starts of the season. He was definitely a big question mark for me whether he'd be able to hang, but it looks like he's really starting to get back down, and the Yankees are getting their starting pitchers to be what they needed them to be. They were my concern at the beginning of the season. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 Ks for him. Jorge Lopez goes 2, 4 earned runs, and then it's just bullpen for the Orioles, and they lose. Expected though. Next up, Astros 6, Rangers 5. I think this makes the Astros now on a 5-game winning streak. They basically were cruising here, 6-1 going in the 8th. They did give up a nice big 4 spot in the top of the 8th, and you thought Texas had a shot to get back in this, but a little bit too late to do that. Gallo goes 3 hits, 3 RBIs in this one, his 7th home run of the season. Correa, 2 hits, 2 RBIs in this one. His 6th home run of the season was a 2-run bomb, and Tucker hits his 9th for the Astros as well. Astros getting it done. 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 5 Ks from Garcia. His first one of the season. And Dane Dunning on the other side goes 4 earned runs, 3 Ks. Just a little average performance from what we've seen from Dane this season. And the Astros are cruising. They're going to catch up to those A's slowly but surely. Royals 5, White Sox 1. And the Royals so far have taken two of 3 of this. If you really want to count those doubleheaders, which you got to, I guess, they count all the same. But they've taken 2 for 3, so turning it around a little bit against the top team in their division after such a rough streak. Really. Abreu hits his 8th of the season for the White Sox. And Salvador Perez, he's up to 9. And Carlos Santana, he's up to 8. Both those guys are having pretty amazing seasons. What can I say, right? A little bit of a cold streak for both of them the Royals were, but we're back. We're going to see on that. Mike Minor, he's bounced back. 7 innings pitched, 1 around 7 Ks. That's the kind of start they've been expecting from Minor most of the season. He just hasn't hit that stride, and maybe he's going to get there now. Carlos Rondon gets his first loss of the season, 5.24 earned runs, 5 Ks for him, and he just didn't get any run support. 4 earned runs. Not great, but again, no run support. You're not going to win games. Braves 5, Brewers 1, and this is like a tale of 2 different teams going in opposite directions, it seems, right now. And the Brewers started off so hot, and the Braves not so much. And now the Braves are on a little bit of a streak. They're getting closer and closer to 500, whereas the Brewers are going on a skid, and they are 500 now. Braves got 4-0 lead, and pretty much was the situation. Freeman, he's up to 10. He hits his 10th home run of the season. He's still batting .221, but we all know Freddie Freeman. That's not going to last, and as soon as he starts hitting off, then we're going to see a lot of things. Acuna wasn't in this game, and we're going to talk about all the injuries and that coming up in the injury report. Anderson goes 3.24 earned runs, 3 Ks, and that was Brett Anderson. And then Anderson for the Braves goes 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 Ks. He's now 3-1 on the season. Definitely been the Braves' best starter so far this season. Next up, Blue Jays 4, Phillies 0. And this was a bullpen game for the Jays, and they closed the door on the Phillies and give 6 hits, no runs. Harper left this game. We'll talk about that in the injury report as well. Vladimir Guerrero, back-to-back nights now with a home run. He's up to 10. He joins the 10 club. This guy's been pretty much MVP for the Blue Jays all season. We're still waiting to see when Springer's going to be back. But like I said, K starts this one off. It's a bullpen kind of game. He's went the most he's gone all season, 4 innings pitched. And then Nola on the other side, 6.2, 300 runs, 8 Ks. On any given night, that could be enough to get it done. And interesting, we see Matt Moore coming in for the close, or like the relief innings, really. They only had to go 8. Matt Moore is definitely not the guy who's going to be pitching for them anymore. Reds 6, Rockies 5, and this one was extra, so like, what was it, 4-3, so it was 2-2 going into the extra innings, and it was all just early, and the bullpens were closing the door, and then in these extras, in the 10th inning, no runs, and then 11th inning, 2 runs each, and then 12th, 2 gets it done for the Reds. Castellanos hits his 10th home run of the season. See him fist bumping the fan afterwards. Allegedly, the fan had told him, just pretend that it's Rob Manfred's face on that ball before, and he smashes that, which is kind of funny. Farmer hits his 2nd of the season as well. Look at all these crazy pinch hits in this game. Extras, that's what it is. Ryan McMahon hits his 9th of the season as well off Male, and Male goes 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. So that's a very good start for Male. He's been, looks like the most consistent and best pitcher for the Reds so far, with Sonny Gray maybe in there as well. Chacin goes 4, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. And look at all these pitchers. The Rockies threw everything in the kitchen sink at this game, and they still fell short. So that's just typical of what we can expect from the Rockies this season, right? So next up, we have the Diamondbacks 11, Nationals 4. And Diamondbacks didn't like how they got beat down the day before, so it's their turn to bring in a little bit beat down themselves. Got out to a quick 3-1 lead in the first, and while it got close, they blew it open, wide open in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then that was it for the Nationals. They didn't really look back. Eduardo Escobar, he hits 2 home runs in this game. He had 3 hits, 7 RBIs for this guy. Peralta hits his 4th of the season. Escobar's at the 9, and then on the other side, the Nationals didn't have any home runs at all. Arizona sends out this Frankoff guy. This guy's new to me. Not quite sure. Seth Frankoff, 32-year-old. Looks like his debut of his life, like his MLB debut. I don't know. Oh, he's had a loss before, so it's not technically his debut. But on the other side, Joe Ross gets 8 earned runs over 4 and just gets pummeled. And that's pretty much it. Once they took a big pummeling, it was over. Going along here, we got the Padres 13, the Cardinals 3, and the Padres are really jumping all over this opportunity that the Dodgers gave them to stay close in this division. Dodgers were pretty much out to a pretty big lead early in this, and then Dodgers had that like big losing streak along the way. And the Padres really putting this expected. Everyone's like telling me that the Cardinals are legit, and sure, I believe they are, and they're a very strong candidate to win the Central, but the Padres are blowing them up so far this series. It's been pretty exciting to watch. Tommy Pham hits his 1st home run of the season. Kim his 2nd. Austin Nola his 1st. So a bunch of guys that don't typically hit home runs for the Padres hitting home runs. On the other side, Cardinals, Molina hits his 6th of the season. Arenado hits his 8th. Bader hits his 4th. So there was 6 home runs in this game altogether. But unfortunately for the Cardinals, they were all solo home runs. Paddock goes 4 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and that 1 earned run comes off a home run. Paddock went 84 pitches, so still using a lot of pitches to go only early in games. Wainwright, 4 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. He gets beat around. Not much else to say on that game. Moving along, this has become one of my favorite teams to watch right now is the Seattle Mariners, and they're back up to 500, and they're on a little bit of a win streak, and they're beating one of the top teams, really. This Kelenic went 0 for 5 again today, so that's 2 games now. He's 0 for, he's batting .231, but the guy takes time. But you have to give credit where credit is due. Mitch Haniger, 2 hits, 1 RBI in this night, and he's been on fire. Home runs, Haniger hits his 12th of the season, ties him for the league lead, and then D. Moore hits his 5th of the season as well. And then we got H. Ramirez. Don't know what the H stands for on that guy. It's new. A new Ramirez in there. Hits his first home run for the Indians. Useless one in the 9th. We got Tristan McKenzie went 4.1, 5 earned runs, 6 Ks. A rough start there. And Sheffield hits 6, 2 earned runs, 2 Ks. And the Indians, they seem to have a story of 2 kinds of starters right now. They either have a starter that is just amazing lights out, or they have a starter that just blows up. It's definitely an area of concern for them going forward here. And the last game of the night, we have the Dodgers 7, Marlins 0. And Dodgers, this is now back-to-back games where they pretty much handled the Marlins very easily, which is kind of what the Dodgers want. Maybe they had a little bit of a wake-up call with what's going on. There is a lot of concern here because Corey Seager left the game and it appears to be a fracture in the hand after being hit by a pitch, which sucks because the Dodgers have been dealing with injuries like that all season long. We had no home runs in this one. Trevor Bauer went 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks, no earned runs. So he's right there back at the performance he was last year, and that's what they expect. Holloway for the Marlins, 2 earned runs over 3, and they didn't really put up much of an offense. They had 2 hits on the entire game. So that's pretty much it. Let's jump into some of these injury reports. Bryce Harper left the game Saturday with a right shoulder soreness. JT Realmuto also left Saturday. So those 2 big hits for the Phillies. Corey Seager, we just talked about. He left with a fractured right hand hit by pitch. That sucks really bad for the Dodgers. Steven Strasburg is scheduled to make a rehab start at AAA this Sunday, so we could be expecting to see Strasburg back really soon. Aaron Hicks diagnosed with a torn tendon sheath in his left wrist and may require surgery. By the sounds of that, he's probably done for the season. Stanton was scratched on Friday and at Camden Yards due to tightness. Didn't notice if he was out in this most recent game. Yeah, it didn't look like he played again on Saturday because they say Friday here. So those kind of things. So many players, so many box scores that sometimes don't have time to scan through, make sure everyone's playing their same lineup, right? Mets activate Davis from on the injured list, blah, blah, blah. Shohei Ohtani. Next start was scheduled for Tuesday against the Indians, but it's going to be pitched back because due to general fatigue. Don't really know what that means, but when you're a two-way star, I guess you have the excuse. Acuna left the game against the Blue Jays on Thursday. I didn't even pick up on that with a left ankle injury, and so far they've been negative. But the Braves have won both games since he left, so maybe you don't need Acuna in your thing. Jake Cave and Alex Kirilloff for the Twins. Cave's on the 60-day DL. Kirilloff hit off a tee on Friday. Hit off a tee. Oh, okay. Dodgers, Price hamstring through 2 innings, so he's going to be back in action soon. Bellinger with the fracture. They're both nearing assignments. McKinstry, too. Jose Abreu, violent collision at first base during the first game of the doubleheader on Friday. But we know Abreu's back because we saw him hit a home run today. Chisholm, he's going to be coming back soon. Could be back this weekend. Didn't see him in that last one. But let's make sure. We're getting pretty much to the point now where some of these are a few days old. So, he wasn't in there. So I'm just going to wrap that up because some of those are a couple days old. Those injury reports that kind of just keep building on each other. Still, for me, the biggest thing is no George Springer. Where's George Springer? Bring George Springer back. Anyway, that's going to be a long Sunday video. We got power rankings coming out later today, so make sure you look out for that. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. We'll see you guys for the next video.